If you believe that loving someone harder, giving more, or trying with more intensity will fix a failing relationship, you are operating with a critical design flaw. This isn't a failure of heart. It's a failure of engineering. Applying more thrust to a structurally compromised aircraft doesn't make it fly. It makes it disintegrate faster. The systemic truth is this: your capacity to sustain a high-altitude relationship is not determined by the intensity of your fuel burn, but by the integrity of your vessel. Stop trying to love harder. It's time to re-engineer the system. Welcome back to the Manifestation Flight Academy. I'm Captain Leanne, your lead systems engineer. Our mission is to re-engineer your internal flight systems for high-altitude manifestation. Secure your harnesses. Today's flight is a deep dive into relational aerodynamics. Today, we are running a full system diagnostic on your relational vehicle, using our proprietary triple-axis model. We will analyze the hardware, the software, and the navigation systems that determine your flight ceiling. We'll use the metaphor of a hot air balloon, a simple yet powerful system that perfectly illustrates these dynamics. Let's begin with Axis 1, psychology. This is your hardware, the core architecture of your nervous system. The balloon's envelope, the very fabric that holds the hot air, represents your sense of self and safety. The cables connecting it to the basket are your attachment bonds. The integrity of this fabric determines your security threshold, the maximum amount of emotional pressure and intimacy the system can handle before it fails. We look to the work of systems engineer John Bowlby and his attachment theory. Bowlby's data indicates that early life relational failures, what we call attachment trauma, don't just create psychological wounds, they create physical microtears in the envelope of your nervous system. When you are alone, these tears may seem insignificant, but as a relationship adds heat and expands the air within, the very definition of intimacy, these microtears become critical points of failure. This is thermal leakage. You are losing the very energy required to stay afloat. Your system detects this pressure loss as a mortal threat. In response, your nervous system redlines. It hits its maximum operational limit, triggering a state of emotional flooding, a panic response designed to get you back on the ground, back to a lower pressure, safer state. This is why you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or a desperate need to escape precisely when intimacy should be at its peak. It's not a fear of love, it's a hardware limitation. Your system cannot contain the energy required for that altitude. Next, we analyze Axis 2, spirituality. This is your software, the operating code and energy frequency that dictates your flight path. In our balloon metaphor, this is the payload in your basket and the purity of your propane fuel. The payload is your karmic load, the energetic data from every previous flight, successful or failed. The fuel is your core resonant frequency. Here, we cite the law of resonance, a fundamental principle of universal physics. Your balloon will not rise into a new atmospheric layer unless its internal frequency matches the frequency of that layer. Many of you are attempting a high-altitude flight while carrying what I call karmic sandbags. These are the dense, low-frequency energies of past betrayals, abandonments, and failures, still tethered to your basket. You may be consciously aiming for the stratosphere of unconditional love, but these sandbags create a gravity trap. They are dead weight, anchoring you to the very frequency you are trying to escape. The law of resonance is impartial. It doesn't care about your intentions, only your output. If your payload is broadcasting a frequency of "I will be abandoned," the universe will provide the gravitational conditions to match that signal. To achieve liftoff, a frequency match is non-negotiable. You must jettison the weight that does not belong at your target altitude. Finally, we diagnose Axis 3, relationships. This is your navigation and propulsion system. In our balloon, this is the burner valve, which controls the flow of fuel and the subtle navigation achieved by finding different air currents at different altitudes. This is about thrust maintenance and polarity. We reference the ancient principle of yin and yang, the magnetic charges that create flow, tension, and attraction. A healthy relationship operates on a clear energetic polarity, a dynamic exchange between giving and receiving, leading and following, masculine and feminine energies, regardless of gender. This dynamic is the engine of passion. However, when communication signals are noisy and full of static, This leads to polarity decay. When partners stop communicating with high-fidelity signals and instead operate on assumption, resentment, and unspoken needs, their magnetic charges neutralize. They become energetically identical, and the dynamic tension collapses. The burner, your passion, begins to sputter. Without effective communication denoising, you cannot maintain thrust. You are no longer navigating together. You are simply caught in the same turbulent airflow, drifting aimlessly. Your journey stalls not from a lack of fuel, but from a failure in the propulsion and guidance system. The connection loses its charge, and the flight is effectively over. Now that the diagnostic is complete, we initiate the flight protocols. These are not suggestions, they are standard operating procedures. First, Protocol 1. System scanning. This is a diagnostic you will run yourself. I want you to power down non-essential thoughts. Close your eyes if it helps you access the control panel. Now, bring to mind your primary relationship dynamic. Step 1. Scan the hardware. Visualize the balloon's envelope. As you imagine increasing the intimacy, the heat, where do you feel the strain? Pinpoint the location of the micro-tears. Is it a tightness in your chest? A knot in your stomach? That is the physical location of thermal leakage. Log that data. Step 2. Scan the software. Look down at the basket. See the sandbags tethered to it. Read the labels on them. What are their names? My last partner cheated. I'm not good enough. Love is unsafe. Acknowledge their weight. Log that data. Step 3. Scan the navigation. Feel the flame from the burner. Is it a powerful, steady roar, or a weak, intermittent flicker? Is there a clear charge between you and your partner, or does the air feel static and dead? Log that data. Do not judge it. Just collect it. Now we move to Protocol 2. Frequency recalibration. This is an active recoding procedure. Step 1. Select one karmic sandbag you identified. The one whose weight feels the most significant today. In your mind, take a ceremonial blade and cleanly sever the rope. Watch it fall away. Feel the immediate lightness in the basket. Your system is now operating with less drag. Step 2. Address the thermal leakage. Visualize a needle threaded with pure, golden light. Systematically, lovingly, stitch the micro-tears in your envelope shut. See the fabric becoming stronger, more resilient, glowing with integrity. Feel the internal pressure stabilize. Your security threshold is now higher. Step 3. Calibrate the burner. Place your attention on the burner's valve. Consciously turn it up, not to a raging, uncontrolled fire, but to a focused, efficient, brilliant blue flame. This is the flame of clear, intentional communication and authentic polarity. Set the intention to transmit and receive signals with zero noise. Your propulsion system is now online and optimized. This triple-axis diagnostic reveals that relationship failure is a predictable systemic collapse. It is not a mystery of the heart. The hardware must be patched, the software must be debugged and lightened, and the navigation system must be calibrated for a high-fidelity connection. Only then can you sustain the altitude you desire. Flight data has been logged. Your system recalibration is underway. Remember, you are the pilot. I am simply your engineer. Over and out. Don't forget to run your post-flight diagnostics by hitting subscribe and activating notifications for our next mission.